sprung rubber fitness tiles are made from recycled rubber. Rubber is flexible, therefore the tiles may differ in size slightly. This is normal, and when fitted correctly in the half brick style using the compression method, this variance will disappear. The first thing you need to do is measure and plan your space to determine how many tiles you need to order. In this garage, I'm going to lay a full tile down the centre of the room so the tiles look even in the space. As you can see from the diagram, this room is 6 square meters, but would require 8 tiles to complete the floor correctly. You will need some good quality professional grade tools to fit the rubber tiles. Stanley blade. I recommend using a Stanley blade with a fixed non-retractable blade, as the blade is much steadier, thus making it easier and safer to cut the tiles. Make sure you have plenty spare blades as they blunt very quickly. 1 meter ruler stick. Chalk line. I've used a screw gun and screw to ping my chalk line, but a hammer and nail will be fine. The first row of tiles you lay should not be installed against the wall. Most of the time the walls are not straight, and therefore it would be impossible to keep a straight line during the installation process. The best way to start is to draw or ping a straight line on the floor and install the tiles along this line. The second row of tiles will be installed against the wall. This room is 230 centimeters wide, therefore I'm going to ping my straight line 65 centimeters off the wall in order to achieve a full tile down the centre of the room. Now that I have a straight line, I can start to lay the tiles. Please bear in mind that black rubber will mark walls or furniture if they come into contact with them, so be careful when moving or fitting the tiles. To install this first tile, I'll need to notch out the corners so that it fits into the doorway. To do this, I place the tile on my straight line and mark the edges of the door frame. I then measure the distance into the centre of the doorway and mark on the tile accordingly. I'm using a ballpoint pen to mark my measurements on the tile, as it shows up nicely and is easily rubbed off later. When cutting the tiles, it's advisable to put something below so you don't cut the surface beneath. In this case, I'm using the offcut of one of the mats. When cutting out the notches, always cut away from the part of the tile that you're going to use. When you fit your next tile, you may notice that the tiles don't sit flush. This is quite normal. Lift the tile into place and let it overlap. Leave it like this and move on to the next tile. The third tile in this room will meet the opposite wall and complete the row. Be sure to cut this tile 5 to 10 mm larger than is required to help with the compression fitting. This toilet tile will also be left overlapped until it is kicked in at the end. It's now time to start the second row. In order to achieve the brick style look, the first tile should be cut in half. In this case, I need to take into consideration the notched out part at the doorway. This tile will be cut just under half. When cutting the tiles, remember to cut the tiles 5 to 10 mm larger than is required to aid with the compression fitting. Hold the ruler firmly across your marks. Run the Stanley blade up and down the ruler, applying more pressure with each run. When you feel you have cut into the tile a few millimeters and the blade is getting harder to move, place a piece of timber under the tile to the side of the cut. You will see the tile opens up along your cut. Run the Stanley blade up and down the tile until the blade has cut through. Carry on with the rest of the tiles using the same method. Kick all your tiles into place. All the gaps will close and you'll be left with a perfect floor like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.